Hello and welcome to Nerdy Unreal Dev. And today we're going to be going over something far more basic, just the simple setup of a material from texture maps. These can be texture maps that you brought in from Substance Designer, or you're making a material for a model you textured in Substance Painter, or you could be using completely different programs. So for start, you can see the maps right here. You are going to want to right click, import asset, and then bring all these in. I did rename all these to have T underscore. That is because Unreal's sort of default naming conventions are T underscore for textures, M underscore for materials, SM underscore for static mesh, and SK underscore for skeletal mesh, etc., etc. So, have these maps. One thing you are going to want to make sure is that in the base color, this little box sRGB is checked to be true. Otherwise, it's going to consider it a linear color and it will throw off things. So you want to make sure that's checked, saved, and then you're going to right click in the content browser and click material. So M underscore barnwood, and then gonna just open that up. And you see this little node here with all these inputs. This is fairly simple if you're just doing a basic surface opaque texture. I have other videos showing how you can do more complicated things like panning or Fresnel. But for this, we're just going to drag in our necessary maps. You don't necessarily need height. Unreal's kind of weird about height. Drag all of these in, and I'm going to make this full screen. And then, just as simple as you dragged them in, just plop them into the correct things. So, and if you forget what texture represented what, as long as you named things properly, you should see within the actual texture sample what it is. So that says ambient occlusion, so we'll pop that into the ambient occlusion. There are ways to make the roughness metallic and ambient occlusion the same map. However, I just exported as bitmap within Substance Designer. So this is what I got. Metallic. This is actually a different color than the original, and I'll show you how you can do that without a texture sample, which does reduce draw calls. So, drag in the normal. And save it. Some things you'll notice aren't quite coming through, though. It's very glowy. So, for starters, let's give us the metallic information. So we're going to do constant, and I got to this by right clicking constant, and this is just basically a number from 0 to 1, so very binary. So we're going to pop this into metallic, and I'm going to be honest, I can actually never remember which is metallic and which is not, but we shall see shortly. 1 is metallic, and as this is wood, we're just going to leave this at 0. So this is just number data. You don't have to draw a picture for the material. Next issue, as you can see here, the color's not quite what we wanted. I'm not sure what's going on here. Sometimes things don't quite translate, but that's okay, because there are ways of adjusting this. So we're going to right click, type multiply, and grab a multiply node. And then, so we're going to connect these things. But be much like the this is just a normal constant, so it's only doing 1 to 0. So, which essentially is black versus white. And that's not quite what we want. What we want is a color. And since colors are represented as in an RGB scale, what we want is, what I just pulled was constant 3 vector. And this, you can actually, so since it's black, we're getting this sort of gray thing. And you can type in numbers by clicking here, or you can do what I just did, which is double click on that space, and now you can go in with the color wheel if you like me are a more visual person, and play around with the colors until you get the one you want. So this is multiplying the same sort of pattern, but with a color overlay. And there's other like little math things you can do to get the specific color you want. But like, say maybe you actually wanted it to be purple. Maybe it's some weird alien blue wood. So you can do a lot of things just with this. And also by giving Unreal time to figure it out. So that is how you sap a material. Hit save. And we're just going to X out of it. And I can just show you by dragging onto the chair. And actually now it's got a nice sort of dark wood feel. So, yeah, that's how you make a material. Thanks for watching. Please consider donating to my coffee if you enjoyed this video.